So I think they're going to have a historic year, and I'm targeting it in saying that the forwards are going to do something we've never seen before. Each one of the Liverpool forwards will score 20+ goals in the Premier League.
The Premier League is finally underway. We're 5 games into the new campaign, so we thought we would play a bit of a game because everybody loves to give a bold statement, don't they, going into a brand new season, especially after match day 1. So this might be right up your street, Nigel.
I don't want to know why you're looking at me directly. A bold statement.
You love a bold statement.
I don't love a bold statement. I love an educated statement.
You're synonymous with a bold statement.
He does.
No, John, listen, I'm bold. It's like my personality in my jacket. Don't worry about that. I can back my talk.
Bold statement and bold overreaction is what we're looking for in this game. But let's just talk about Liverpool just for a second before we get on to our statements, because obviously it was a mad game, wasn't it, against Bournemouth yesterday, and a lot of the attention was on the emotion, Nige, coming in off a really heartbreaking summer with the loss of Diogo Jota and everything we saw in the build-up to that game. Yes,
a lot of emotions were showing yesterday, and you could see it in some players, especially Mo Salah. I know that Jota and Mo Salah were very close, so it's hard for us to really understand unless you've been in that kind of situation and scenario, and we can never say how it's going to affect these players. You know, players and people's individuals deal with trauma in many different ways, and it's still a long season to go, but you saw the togetherness of the players and the respect they showed to Diogo Jota every time, and it's going to be a long season for them, and for them it was great for them to get the result at Anfield, and I think that was probably the main thing. Obviously there was some other incident that didn't make a pleasant day at Anfield, which marred the game, but great for Liverpool to get the win. If you're talking about from the football perspective, very scary when they go forward. They break, but they leave themselves open. They're going to be a very open team if they continue to play like that. They need to get in defensive reinforcements, especially in that centre-back position. And I believe that Gravenberch is going to be a big player for Liverpool this season.
But if there is a club historically that could emotionally manage in terms of a tragedy like that, because of how collective the club is, because of what they've been through historically, Liverpool is almost designed because of their collectiveness. Even think about the mantra of them, you never walk alone. So I just think if there was a club that is going to emotionally charge and bring everyone together as a collectiveness, it's going to be them. But as Nige says, trauma affects everybody differently. It does, and these are still human beings that's lost a friend, a teammate, and everything else. Yeah,
the unity was special yesterday, wasn't it, at Anfield? OK, let's talk about the big headline then, Nigel. Why don't you start us off? What is your big overreaction
I've been waiting for this
game?
Well, my overreaction from the Liverpool game is that Ektike will get more goals than Gyökeres this season. Ektike, fantastic striker, showed the quality that he has, tremendous with the ball at his feet, always willing to show, can play as that number 9 and can also play out wide. He will get more goals than Gyökeres this season.
It's just nice to know that Nigel destroyed Arsenal in his playing career and is still doing the same thing now in his second broadcasting career.
Listen, I was asked to do a job, I did it. I gave you a great overreaction with great points behind it.
Okay.
I feel like...
Wait, how do you like that, Poppy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I've heard bolder from you, so I thought you were going to go a bit more crazy, actually. I don't mind it.
There's a difference between overreaction and crazy. 2 different words there. That's a nice overreaction.
I could name a few of the ones that you've had this week that would be a bigger statement than that one. So, yeah, I'm on board with that. Yeah.
I feel like mine is more just driven for exactly what Nigel was just talking about, right? They are extremely expansive going forward. I clearly see that Arne Slot this year wants to play on the front foot of everything. So I think they're going to have a historic year, and I'm targeting it in saying that the forwards are going to do something we've never seen before. Each one of the Liverpool forwards will score 20+ goals in the Premier League. In Ektike, in Salah, and of course Jaydee Dyer as well. So I'm looking at it and thinking to myself,
that's an overreaction for sure.
That's not an overreaction.
That's crazy.
You just saw them yesterday. How many times could they have been caught in transitions
60 goals
on the
just
front?
between the 3
But they
strikers.
didn't.
Why not?
No. That's crazy.
Let me explain my logic. Salah will miss a period of time naturally because of the African Cup of Nations. Ekitike, you've seen, is going to hit the ground running. They're going to want to feed him. And Cody Gakpo is going to be the consistent builder throughout the season of just ticking away. And all of a sudden you look up and he's got 20 goals.
And what happens if they get Isak?
We'll revise this conversation.
Yes.
Okay, then.
This is a conversation for as things stand today.
Facts.
And let's talk about your beloved Aston Villa next then, Nigel, shall we? The overreaction from their game against Newcastle is what?
My overreaction for Aston Villa versus Newcastle is both teams finish in Europe. Now, I said that both teams, for me, they can kind of cancel each other out. And I think that was a reflection of today's game. Overall, reflecting on the game as well, I would have to say that Newcastle were slightly the better side. They had the better chances and could have nicked all 3 points at Villa Park. But when I look at both teams, I think well coached, good managers, good squads, good starting 11. I think that they both will finish in Europe this year. That's my overreaction.
Yeah, but there's 7th place and then there's Champions League. So are you saying
Europe.
just in any of those
Top
places?
7.
Top 7.
Top
okay.
7.
Okay.
Both teams finish in the top 7.
That's not that bold either. You've done bolder. You're not playing this game very well.
He's playing fantastically. He's kind of sitting on the fence a little bit.
Okay, Jaydee, what have you got?
I've put my chest out. I love Aston Villa as a football club. The fan base is so unique. They're a very special team in terms of just personally as well. But this year I see things kind of going south. They're going to say a little bit element of regression. And because of how competitive the league is, teams are returning. Spurs, Man United are going to be in the top half. I don't see Aston Villa finishing in the top 10. I think they're top half of the table. That's my wild.
Is that an overreaction, or is that actually what you really?
I just think there's elements of quality that's been lost in this team, that's been kind of understated, and I don't see the replacements being in the same vein. So I just think, with a European run as well, we know Unai is a specialist in Europe. Not taking that away from him, but I just don't see. I see their domestic form struggling.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Brighton, Fulham. Obviously, that game finished 1-1. Nige, what are you going for in that game?
My overreaction to Brighton Fulham is that Fulham win a cup this year. That is my overreaction. Fulham win a cup. FA Cup, League Cup.
Or the yeah, so you're saying FA Cup or the Carabao Cup?
Fulham win a cup.
Okay.
I'm on a similar vein. I'm on a similar note, but I've got the complete opposite. I think Brighton definitely win a cup. I think the first time you can see Brighton are going to put trophy in their cabinet that's theirs and definitively theirs, and they'll be able to lift. I see the League Cup, but especially at home, if they get a good cup run where they got a lot of games at the Amex, that's one for them.
So you just ready to just give me some stick, but you're saying the same thing with me, but you're just picking a different team.
Yeah, because my team has a little bit more quality.
And the game finished 1-1 today. And the game finished 1-1 today, right?
We're in August, right?
Okay, but the game finished 1-1.
Yeah, but like, Nigel,
okay.
Nigel, you know it's in August.
But the game finished 1-1.
Okay. Well, we'll see. You'll see.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Sunderland and West Ham. Let's just have a look at the TIFO first, because obviously the Stadium of Light is a special place, isn't it? They're happy to be back in the Premier League.
Incredible.
And this is what they came out with earlier on.
Actually, I've got question marks. Why? What does this mean?
Yeah, why the dragon?
I'll wait for someone to explain to me as well, but it's whatever it is. It's amazing.
Looks good though, doesn't it? Obviously, it's like it's a fortress. They're hoping it will be this season.
Their home has to be a fortress this season.
For this
That's a reality of it. For get promoted, I've been fortunate to play there, Poppy. It is amazing when the Sunderland fans are supporting their team there, and that's the importance for them. If you want to come up into the Premier League, your home games, you have to win your home games, and you have to make sure you get the results at home and nick a point away from home. They started ever so well. So my overreaction into this game is West Ham are in a relegation fight.
Oh, gosh.
What?
Oh, gosh.
West Ham are in a relegation fight.
Your beloved West Ham.
Yes. My beloved West Ham are in a relegation fight.
Wow.
That is an overreaction to this game today.
Not like you care anyway, but I can feel myself having to be in the comments to defend you. No, because you won't care as it is. But I'm just saying that West Ham fans are not going to accept that. They're not going to accept that.
There's a large majority of West Ham fans that are very realistic. Listen, this isn't Graham Potter's team still.
They're not the third worst team in the Premier League, though.
Have you seen the performance from today alone? Look, I watch football with my eyes.
Facts.
I still feel that West Ham are struggling in the midfield area. We talk about scoring goals. No more Mikel Antonio. Yes, I know Karen Williamson's just come in. There's chemistry issues there. I think West Ham are still in a building process. Realistic West Ham fans that I know will be happy just to survive this year in the Premier League, and we can build again. I think a lot of mistakes were made recruitment-wise the year before, and I think that's catching up to West Ham right now. Nowhere near dynamic in that midfield area to be able to control games. And also we're talking about scoring goals and creating goals is a problem. So I think it's going to be a tough season for West Ham.
Can't see them going down. Jaydee, can you?
Well, I don't think West Ham will go down. But another team I don't think will go down, I don't think Sunderland are going to struggle. I really think that they're going to turn the Stadium Light into an absolute fortress. It's going to be so difficult. Geographically, people don't understand how far away Sunderland is sometimes. And just the mental edge that you can have as a home team, the fans getting behind them. And also, I think they've made a few acquisitions in addition to their squad that's just going to raise the quality in terms of what's in that team overall. So I actually don't think they will struggle. I actually think they'll finish mid-table.
Poppy, isn't this the same guy who just told me a second ago it's the first game of the season, right?
I think they'll finish
mid-table. It's the first game of the season.
I had that out there.
Did you not just say that a second ago? It's the first game of the
30
season.
seconds ago, no doubt about it. But wait,
I wanted to check because I'm deaf in one ear.
The additions of certain people into that squad, I was just interested to see how they win.
I think that's more likely that Sunderland finish mid-table than West Ham being in the bottom three.
I always did like Poppy.
And by the way, that tifo is just to represent the Goliath battles that they're going to have week in, week out at the Stadium of Light.
That one landed with you.
So the Goliath battles is represented by a dragon?
Yes, slay the dragon, David and Goliath.
I'll just let that one.
Goliath.
Sometimes just let it sit out there. Right? Just let it sit out there. Just let it. If they want to have it, let them have it.
I kind of like it. Okay, last one. Tottenham and Burnley. Obviously, this is a new look Tottenham now under Thomas Frank. It was a great result for them today, Nigel. What's your big statement on this?
My overreaction for Tottenham is Tottenham finish in the top four. Tottenham top four, and it rhymes. That is my overreaction. Thomas Frank, great manager, always admired him, what he did at Brentford. And what I like about Brentford, people have to understand, is the progression that he had at Brentford. When they first came into the Premier League, very direct, very unpleasant to watch, but they got results and they survived. And from then, the evolution of football has come at Brentford. They play fantastic football. And when you listen to him, he always talks about phases, and I agree to that. In football matches, you're going to have phases. Phases where you don't have the ball and you have to be comfortable to defend with the ball. Phases when you do have the ball and you have to be good on the ball. Phases when you break. Phases when you have to be defensively minded. And what he's going to do is make Tottenham a well more balanced side, and we're already starting to see little glimpses. Are they short of bodies? Yes, he definitely needs to get a few more bodies in the box. But
and has he had enough time? I mean, this is a team that's only playing in the Champions League because they won the Europa League last season. They finished in 17th place. So you think with managing the Champions League and playing in the Premier League that they're going to finish in the top four?
If they can get more bodies into them, it's an overreaction. I just said I gave you my overreaction. Tottenham finished in the top four.
Okay, that was
for the purpose of this game.
That was a good overreaction.
But I think when you look deeper into their stat line from last year, especially as team stats, they actually scored a lot of goals. They actually were, in terms of really positive going forward. What Thomas Frank's going to do is everything that Nigel's just said, add structure, solidity. I think you're going to have a better defensive shape when you're looking at Tottenham this year, and more versatility. They'll flip between the 3 at the back to the 4 at the back. They'll be comfortable in certain games and seeing it out. And all of a sudden, those points start to add up. And we know those coaching staff. Justin Cochran's going to keep them to a high standard. Thomas Frank's going to keep them to a high standard. You've already seen with Basuma's absence, if you're not going to reach what's required here as a teammate, then you're not going to be a part of this.
Hey, he'd leave you out the squad.
Oh, here we go.
I paid my fine, okay?
I did not do that. That was not necessary.
One time I was late, I apologise and paid my fine.
It's a good job that my name's not Thomas Frank, isn't it? You'd be sitting over there.
I don't think you can handle that responsibility.
But my overreaction is, I'm going to highlight, I'm going to say it on record, I think he will be manager of the year this year, because this is not his squad, and most people acknowledge that it's not his squad. But what you're going to see in terms of development, what you're going to see in terms of consistency, is the same impact that when I first saw him go in there at Brentford. I think it's going to be an impact that is just going to shock people's system. And either you rise to it or you don't. And he will leave out those that don't and continue to go forward with those that do. And the momentum will build nicely for him.
You're basically saying discipline. Discipline's a big factor. Something that's lacking in Poppy's life a lot, but it's okay.
This is what happens when you're the younger brother on set between your brother and sister. I see it already.
You're welcome, Jaydee, welcome.